What if I told you that one man spoke and the sun froze in the sky? That lightning became a weapon, hailstones crushed armies, and God Himself thundered down in a war for His people. This isn't fantasy, it happened, and it changed history forever. Welcome to the true story of the day when God fought with thunder and time stood still. News of Israel's victory struck fear into every heart in Canaan. But one city, Gibeon, chose a different path. Instead of fighting, they disguised themselves, made peace with Joshua, and were spared. Their neighbors, furious. Sometimes peace is found through wisdom and humility, not strength. Joshua 9 verse 3-6. Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent urgent messages to 4 other kings. Let us strike Gibeon. Teach them what happens to traitors. Their armies marched, furious and united, but they were not ready for the battle God was planning. Everyone often unites in fear when righteousness rises. Joshua 10 verse 3-5. As the 5 kings approached, the Gibeonites sent an urgent message to Joshua. Please help us. You gave your word. Joshua didn't hesitate. He gathered his army. The covenant will be honored. God will not be mocked. When we commit in God's name, we are called to keep our word. Joshua 10 verse 6-7. Joshua led his warriors through the darkness. No rest, no fear, only faith. God has already spoken. Do not be afraid. I have given them into your hands. When God gives a word, our feet must follow. Joshua 10 verse 8-9. Just before dawn, Israel struck. The enemy camp was thrown into chaos. Swords clashed, warriors fled, but the battle was far from over. Bold faith attacked darkness at its weakest hour. Joshua 10:10. Suddenly, the sky roared. Hailstone, massive, deadly, began to fall, targeting only the enemies. Nature obeyed the God of heaven. More died from the storm than by the sword. When God fights, His weapons are limitless. Joshua 10 verse 11. Joshua looked to heaven. The enemy was fleeing, but night was coming. So he prayed aloud, Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stay over Ajalon. And he did. Bold faith dares to ask the impossible from a limitless God. Joshua 10 verse 12-13. The sun halted. The sky stood still. Time paused. For nearly a whole day, God gave His people lights to finish what they started. When your mission is divine, heaven backs your timeline. Joshua 10 verse 13-14. Terrified, the kings hid in a cave. Joshua sealed it shut, finishing the battle first. Then he returned for the final act of justice. God gives wickedness time to hide, but not to escape. Joshua 10 verse 16-18. With the enemies defeated, Joshua gathered his leaders. He brought the kings out, laid them before the people, and declared, Be strong and courageous, for the Lord will do this to all your enemies. The sun finally set, but a new fear of God rose across the land. When God fights for you, the world will take notice. Joshua 10 verse 24-27. Joshua called his captains and told them, Put your feet on the neck of these kings. It was symbolic, a moment of faith. Fear was crushed beneath their heels. Bold leadership inspires unshakable courage. Joshua executed the kings and hung their bodies on trees. At sunset, He buried them in the same cave they tried to hide in. What is hidden in darkness will be judged in light. Joshua 10 verse 26 to 27. The next city, Makkedah, fell swiftly. No one resisted Israel's God anymore. Every battle now felt like destiny. When God is with you, your enemies lose confidence. Joshua 10:28. Joshua swept southward. Lachish, Libnah, Eglon, each fell like dry leaves before the wind. Obedience today builds victory towards tomorrow. Joshua 10 verse 29 to 35. With every city, Israel fought hard, but God fought harder. The heavens shook. The enemies fell before they drew their sword. God's presence makes ordinary people unstoppable. Joshua attacked Hebron, the land of Anakim's giants. But the giants were nothing before the living God. Giants are never bigger than your God. Joshua 10 verse 36 to 37. No city was too strong. No king was too proud. Debir was the final stronghold. Once it fell, the entire southern region bowed to Joshua. Faithful perseverance always ends in victory. Joshua 10 verse 38 to 39. God fought for Israel. It wasn't just a strategy, it was supernatural. Joshua didn't rely on numbers or might. He obeyed, and God did what no army could. He fought for Israel. God's power always exceeds man's planning. After thunder comes peace. The southern land were now quiet. Israel rested, not because of their sword, but because of God's intervention. Obedience brings rest that no war can steal. Joshua 10:43. What story will your children hear about God? Joshua commanded the scribe, write what the Lord has done today. It became legend, a story of faith, thunder, and frozen time. Miracle must be remembered, or their power fades. The God of time and thunder. Only one power commands the sun, moon, and storm. From that day on, the people knew no God compares to God of Israel. He holds time, commands weather, and fights for his own. Trust the Lord who controls himself. Each battle carried a lesson for life. Faith, obedience, courage. These weren't just war tactics. They were survival. They were worship. Every victory begins with surrender to God. Joshua's reflection. What does a leader see after conquering a kingdom? Joshua didn't boast. He knelt down. Not by my sword, but by your hand, he whispered. A heart of worship crowned the warrior. True greatness bows before God. Could this be pointing to a greater deliverance yet to come? Just as Joshua led Israel to victory, another will come, Yahushua, the Savior. He will conquer not kingdoms, but sin. All victories point to the greatest one, the cross. What if God is waiting to fight your battle, but you haven't asked yet? The same God who made the sun stand still fights for you today. Call on Him. Trust Him. He can still stop time for your victory. Your battle is His. Trust Him to fight. Who is this King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty. The Lord, mighty in battle. Psalm 24 verse 8. If this story inspires you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic Bible stories that will strengthen your faith. God still stops the sun. He still fights with thunder, and He still wins. Check out this forgiveness.